Why, hello everyone. I'm Kyle, and thanks for joining me today on This Is Drive. We're going to review the much anticipated 2019 Jaguar I-Pace. Now, it's all electric powertrain, up to 234 miles of range, and a 0 to 60 time of 4.5 seconds, make it more like a sports car than an electric crossover. Plus, with all of that range, it's finally a car which can stand up to the elephant in the room, which is the Tesla Model X. And with a starting price of just under $70,000, it's a fantastic value too. I mean, you get so much car here for the money. I mean, it's around $10,000 less than a Model X. Now back to that 0 to 60 time of 4.5 seconds. It's just incredible how smooth it accelerates. Whether you just want a little bit of power or want full-on beast mode in dynamic setting, it's just like a jet in the sky, which can effortlessly accelerate to any speed. Now, this is all possible thanks to two identical electric motors, one powering each axle. Now, this gives the I-Pace all-wheel drive and it ends up creating 394 horsepower and 512 pound-feet of torque. Now, when it comes to slowing down, though, you have a couple of different regen braking options, high and low mode. Now, when in high mode, which is the one that I've been driving in most, it really does allow you to operate the vehicle with just one pedal. Plus, you get all that energy back into the battery, which of course leads to additional range. Now, when you do hit the brakes, though, it can sometimes be somewhat of a rough transfer. The brakes feel very touchy in and out of that regen mode. And it's also very apparent when parking, which can be a little bit annoying, especially when you're just trying to tap and you get more of a jolt, But I'm sure, with a small amount of time moving forward, Jaguar will fix and update that system and issue. Now, all things considered, I do think the Jaguar 4.5 in the powertrain slot. Now, when it comes to handling, wow, I mean, this thing just loves to soak up the curves. I mean, the all-wheel drive really just grips the road, and it's just more like, you're on a roller coaster ride at Cedar Point, which is so much faster than it needs to be, but that's just what makes it so much fun. Now, the Jag does have a few tricks up its sleeve to make such an incredible handling dynamics. It has torque vectoring by braking, active air suspension, and adaptive dynamics, which can monitor the vehicle movements up to 500 times a second and adjust accordingly as you're driving to better suit how the vehicle handles. Now, the I-Pace really does provide an unparalleled driving experience. It's more like a supercar than a crossover. So that's why I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 in handling. Now, when it comes to looks, in my personal opinion, the I-Pace is by far the best looking electric vehicle on the market today. It has an incredibly striking design, pop-out door handles, large, soft, rounded curves, bright LED daytime, front and rear running lights, carbon fiber wheels, and rear hatch with the wraparound brake lights. It's one of those cars you can just put inside of a room at a party and have it become more of a piece of artwork rather than an actual vehicle. The I-Pace easily achieves a 5 out of 5 in styling. Now, moving on to the interior, it continues to amaze with a very solid build quality and a futuristic design. I mean, just look at the dials which control the heated and cooled settings. They have their own little screens, and it changes from blue to red as the temperature out of the vents change. It also acts as your heated and cooled seat controls and blower speed as well. Now, talking about the seats, they're incredibly comfortable and supportive. I mean, there are a plentiful amount of controls on the side to adjust the bolstering, and even, the side bolstering, and, get locked in. Now, in our demo vehicle here, we have the Alcantara and fabric inserts with the carbon fiber interior trim. It gives it a very sporty yet modern look and feel. Now, of course, there are many different leather choices to choose from as well if you prefer. But just sitting in the driver's seat with the large instrument cluster screen display coupled with this incredible 3-spoke steering wheel. And by the way, the steering wheel is definitely one of my favorite out there. It's Alcantara wrapped as well. It looks incredible. Just the attention to detail in this wheel design is phenomenal. I mean, it just feels more like you're commanding a spaceship rather than driving a car. Jaguar just really outdid themselves on the interior design. I mean, in the materials as well. I mean, it just everything how it feels and touches feels fantastic. And also we have dual laminated glass, extra soundproofing to keep the outside noises to a minimum. And once again, the I-Pace easily achieves a perfect score of 5 out of 5 in interior design as it's leading the pack. Now, tech features. This is where there is certainly a lot to cover. And for starters, we have JAG's standard multimedia system, which is somewhat confusing to use at first, and it can be a bit laggy, but overall provides a very good content. And the onboard navigation system is exceptional, providing clear, concise directions. But in this day and age, and at this price point, it's difficult to justify the laggy nature of the system, especially when Tesla, Audi, BMW, and among others have flawless media systems. Now, moving on, there is also another little screen down here which does control climate, audio, and phone. And I like the integration here of the other screen. It makes changing the radio stations a real breeze from the center console. Then, of course, we have the reconfigurable gauge cluster, which can be anything from a full-on map to dual gauges or to this single gauge display that I have set up currently with media on the left and map on the right. Jaguar does a fantastic job with this, as well as the heads-up display here, which is optional. It's a must-have for under $1,000. It provides a very vivid and bright display, can provide navigation info, phone call information, speed as well. Now, when it comes to safety, the I-Pace has you covered there too, with a standard array of features: blind spot detection, forward collision warning, lane assist, and distance guided cruise control. Now, everything there works well together. I give it a 4 out of 5 in the tech department. I like everything, how it's integrated, the extra screens, the climate control dials. But when it comes to functionality, it does fall a bit short, especially with the laggy system, which can be get a bit annoying, especially when you're in reverse, depending on that backup camera. Now, when it comes to the sound system, though, the Meridian sound system never fails us audio geeks, with many different filtering options, an independent subwoofer, and 20 front, side, and rear speakers at 825 watts. It really does make all of the music come alive, let me guarantee you. Now, with this system being one of the best out there, Meridian is, of course, incorporated on both the Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles. It just easily achieves a 5 out of 5 in sound. Now, overall, the 2019 Jaguar I-Pace is an incredible vehicle, boasting the latest in technology and design, and finally, Tesla has real competition. With a starting price of under $70,000 and a range of 234 miles, makes the Jag very appealing, and will surely take away some buyers from the almighty T. Giving the I-Pace an overall rating of 4.5 out of 5. Now, it still needs some fine-tuning when it comes to regen braking, plus the multimedia system still needs to be updated a little bit so it provides a more seamless user experience, but those are small problems which can be fixed easily. Now, this crossover could easily be mistaken for a supercar when driving. And it's just, that's what just makes it so special, is it just when you hit the gas and you just get that all-wheel drive grip and it just takes off like crazy. You just are reminded that you're not only driving a Jaguar, but an electric car with over 500 pound-feet of torque and all-wheel drive. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you've thoroughly enjoyed my review on the 2019 Jaguar I-Pace.